He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop
Look
that
out,
man.
here comes.
I just wanted to jump on and do my Thursday takeaways really fast because I've been seeing all the reaction on Twitter and these analysts got me fucked up. Anyone out there trying to tell you to sell high on David Montgomery? Like, what the hell does that even mean? He played one game and had 20 carries basically for 70 yards and a touchdown. Like, what, are you going to go trade him for Nick Chubb tomorrow? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I don't even know, like, what. So it's like, I get it. It's the clickbait reactionary, like, I want to get views kind of content. That's not what I do. I'll never be pumping out bullshit like, 5,000 tweets of move your flex player into the positionals. Like, if you don't fucking know that by now, you're doing fantasy football wrong. Which is another stupid headline that I hate seeing on every goddamn post. You're playing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Jesus Christ. Look, all right, here's the actual takeaways from last night's game. The Detroit Lions wasted their entire fucking offseason, if you ask me. What was the difference of last night between DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery besides more draft capital and more money that you poured down a position that every other team in the NFL is trying to get away from? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I was never thrilled with the Detroit Lions trading away 2 running backs and then just bringing in the same basically the same prototype of the same running back. But hey, David Montgomery had a good game. I would expect almost all their games to be like that, where David Montgomery is going to see 15 to 20 touches, much to the chagrin of Jahmyr Gibbs fantasy managers. I thought 3.5 receptions was a smash bet yesterday for Jahmyr Gibbs. I took the over and I was wrong, and I was wrong by a decent margin because he only had 2 receptions. So, the Detroit Lions, for all their pontificating about how they want to use Jahmyr Gibbs in this offense, it's like at the end of the day, though, who are the offensive specialists designing the schemes on this team? It's not like we saw any of the weird trickery like we saw at Kansas City, which didn't always work, granted, but, getting Jahmyr Gibbs on jet sweeps and screens, like, we didn't even see a lot of that, to be honest. Now, granted, they were in a position where they just kind of had to make fewer mistakes than the Kansas City Chiefs down the stretch. But at this point, you're holding David Montgomery. You're holding Jahmyr Gibbs. There's nothing you can do. You're happy about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jared Goff had a respectable performance, but it wasn't anything crazy. So there's really not much that you can do in terms of the Detroit side of the ball. Now, on Kansas City side of the ball, I'm dropping every Chiefs wide receiver. I don't care. I'm giving you permission. If there's some analyst out there telling you to hold on to Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney or Justin Watson or MVS or Rashee Rice or whoever the hell it happens to be next week, just ignore it, because literally every week it's going to be a different wide receiver, if you ask me. Every week that Travis Kelce is not there, it's just going to be a random guy is going to pop up. I mean, at halftime yesterday, Mahomes had thrown the ball to 8 different players that had receptions. Like, he's going to spread the ball around to the point where Patrick Mahomes is greater than the sum of his parts. But this offense as a whole, like, I'm not trying to target any of the wide receivers for fantasy. So if you're in a situation, so for example, like I have a 12-man league, it's only 5-man bench, and I didn't draft a kicker. I'm one of those people that I wait until the last possible minute to draft a kicker. Well, if I had been one of the people who drafted a Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, it would be very easy this morning for me to decide which player I'm dropping from my roster to pick up my kicker, and it would be whichever Chiefs receiver was there. Except, I guess, Rashee Rice as the rookie, having a good game already in your first game. If he can develop into maybe a little bit more of a volume option, but even then, like, Rashee Rice is a hold only if you are in a deep enough league to make him worth holding. So if I was in a 10-man league and I'm short a running back, for example, and I see Deion Jackson or Evan Hall or Sean Tucker even out there on the waivers, like, I might want one of those guys more than trying to stash and hold a Chiefs wide receiver and guess which week that they pop off. So it's okay. You have my permission. Go ahead and drop the Chiefs wide receivers if you need to. If you're in a deeper league, you can obviously hold them, but it's not something that I'm going to be banking fantasy points on coming from for really the rest of the season on any kind of consistent basis. So that's it. I just wanted to basically say, we're all so happy that football is back. But at the same time, because football's back, we've got all these reactionary Twitter posts that are also back. So I just wanted to jump on and give my 2 cents. And hey, congratulations, Detroit Lions. I don't care what the circumstances was. You got a win over the Super Bowl champs. That's something to be proud of. So shout out to the Lions and shout out to the Lions fans out there, because they're one of the most hard luck franchises in all of sports. So I would love to see them succeed even just on that level. Catch you all on the flip side.